the Elise in both games that we have seen so far gets banned out. Cassidy will not find gameplay. They notice Alex Beach's Fizz as well. So the ban's coming out slowly but surely as the Ahri goes down.
Okay, nope.
I was thinking Alex might go for a Gragas this game, something in that order. The Orianna is still left up. A lot of people on social media want Alex to get Zed this game, but it's obviously not going to happen. The fans are hoping.
That's a hard one to get here at Worlds.
A little bit.
People don't let Zed through. Shen, however, again, first pick once again for Gambit. Worked out very well for them the first time. That's a very good omen for them that they were able to get it again. But meanwhile, Twitch and Thresh both still available for Najin Sword, as well as whatever Trinity Force AD carry they want to pick. They decided to go for Nagne's mid, though, so we'll finally see another mid champion from Nagne. Very, very excited to see what that will be, because they also have last pick.
I thought you meant they picked it. I was like, no way, where?
They also have last pick, so they can use that last pick for their mid and try to counter whatever Alex goes with.
Eve has been left open. Both Watch and Diamond have that in the champion pool. This is really a good game for Gambit, at least. They don't have to stretch Darien's champion pool too much, which we've seen was pressured last game. He does get his Shen, falling back on that pick very quickly. To see now what Gambit comes out with 30 seconds left.
I think that they're trying to take away the Elise, and then also Evelyn is another thing that Watch jungles very heavily.
Right.
Very heavy early influence in those ganks. They're hoping that he'll go back on something like Nunu, but I don't think Najin Sword will return to that. They'll probably use one of the AD early pressure junglers like Lee Sin or Jarvan. And yes, Riv, you get the gold star today. Nice call.
Woo! All right, so we do see the Gragas coming out instead of the Orianna here. A lot of people also were stating that that Thresh play that came out of Cain last game was really just changing for everything. Was able to start fights. We have it again. So they have Comfort pick in top tier, Triforce pick in general for Prey coming out in the 3.11 patch. And Cain gets his support.
We do finally get to see one of Prey's famed Trinity Force champions. Corky's definitely, in my opinion, the stronger of the two between him and Ezreal. The Nidalee mouths over. That is a very interesting pick because she's actually, if you build her tanky, decent split pusher. And she can get to the point where she can handle a Shen split push. But she cannot join the team fights as quickly as Shen.
They are playing with some fire.
Corky's
right
not an
here.
auto attack AD carry.
This is going. Wow. Okay, so yeah, you're right. They pull this out. This does. Obviously, you get attack speed out of heal from Nid. You get heal from Blood Boil. You're going to be able to take down turrets quite quickly. She still can pressure those, but they're putting a lot in one basket here.
Corky has to use some of his animation frames for his spells, though, that come out.
Right.
A lot of missiles are threaded in between auto attacks. So if they stack the Nidalee and the Blood Boil attack speed buffs onto Corky, it's not the most efficient, especially if he does build Trinity Force. So I'm really wondering what their final pick is going to be. The Nidalee could be mid, and they could go with a carry for top lane here for Expession.
Very interesting. Seeing the Nidalee pick out and come of some of the season, the spring and summer season, but never really here at Worlds. Nidalee was used quite a bit in the spring LCS as a kind of a retort to just having high burst, that Jace that came out and whatnot. You're going to get that half health fight start that really allows you to win, but an interesting composition. Like I said, I think too much in one basket because the composition that Gambit brings, one, if you get caught, they can still pick out champions, and they have a great team fight composition.
Nidalee is a completely different champion from Ahri. Ahri, assassin base, looking to pick people off. Nidalee, if he builds her AP, is heavy poke. Gragas is already an amazing answer to any team that wants to siege up and poke. Just a one-man answer pretty much. And Diamond's going to have a lot of early presence here on this Evelyn. I'm liking Gambit's chances here because they also have, right now, the global advantage. No teleports here either from Najin Sword.
Nagne is no stranger to being on the roam, which is going to be help from Nunu as well. We did see when he was down against Alex Heach's Fizz, he was up in kills down in CS. He makes those plays for himself, so even if he won't be finding it in mid.
Kill
Nagne's gonna be
potential.
roaming.
Oh my goodness. The kill potential in mid, there is almost no kill potential for Najin Sword. A Nidalee and a Nunu support, the early level kill potential there is pretty much non-existent.
They got to make some moves. So we'll see. Early part of the game, it's actually going to be no invade so far that we've seen. The first game did show that Najin was red, and they warded the heck out of the bottom blue side. We'll see if they go for a repeat on that. We do have Gambit back on blue. That's where they found their win. That's where Najin found their win as well. We'll see if that first pick, first ban, or really just organization of that level 1 strat is what could bring these teams the win. We're about to enter onto the Rift as both teams are ready. We are into the third and final game between Gambit and Najin Black Sword. Europe versus Korea, now to be finalized.
Let's see about that 2-versus-2 matchup that all the analysts were putting so much weight on. Cain and Prey definitely got a huge, huge upper hand in that last time. And with a very similar early pairing here, we'll have to see if they actually get it. Right now already, Gambit are heading towards it though. So it looks like standard lanes for Gambit.
Wow, line of scrimmage from both teams. They are not doing anything dangerous, just spreading themselves out thin, acting as personal sentries to make sure nothing gets by them.
No excess of pink wards either here from Najin Sword. So Diamond can have a pretty easy time ganking very early. The bottom lane pink wards are usually used for that side lane bush control when you have Thresh. Meanwhile, Voidle has one of his own, so he could easily set something up along that tri-bush. This is, like you said, a very, very passive early levels here. Looks like both teams are pretty confident then. Yeah,
the hard hats are completely on. Both in mid are going to be starting with that Dorian's ring, as they know.
Yeah.
Going back and forth with the fight isn't going to be in their benefit.
Italy has 40 AP at level 1.
I think she's going Bruiser.
Yeah.
We'll see if those spears...
That's why you're the play-by-play.
We'll see if these spears actually really affect the game. Alex can more easily play behind the minions than Nidalee can. She has to get herself out in the open to throw those spears. So he should have a good time in mid, pushing Nidalee back to the turret. And that's actually going to hurt Nagne's roam a little bit here if Alex goes quite hard.
This combination of the mid laner and jungler is so perplexing to me because counter jungling relies pretty heavily on your mid laner's ability to collapse and assist you. Nidalee does not have very strong lane presence this early. And I don't think Nunu's going to have much backup if he decides to make any moves early. Very interesting to see how Watch is going to play this one. If
you ever wondered how much level 1 damage Corki does, that is the Phosphorus Bomb auto attack right there. The combo you want to get out if you're playing Corki. Level 2 and 3 allows the other AD carry to really start to answer back, and they're doing it well in the bottom lane. Prey and Cain taking control again.
You can already see what type of game Diamond's planning for, too, on Evelynn. Using the smite on his blue buff means that he's going to hard farm the first full clear of this jungle and come out at least level 4, maybe even level 5 for his first gank.
You said it before, Kobe, especially if the lane is up, you can sometimes, that gank goes awry, and that would be 3 people going down. So with those levels, he's definitely given himself the durability to go into a lane such as Corki Thresh if he chooses to. 3 minutes on the clock, not too much action. Like you said, the junglers are going to be keeping themselves safe, trying to get that farm up. Again, Watch is put back onto Nunu, and we will have to see if that hurts the strategies and mechanics that Watch can bring to his team.
It's interesting here. Diamond comes in through the side bush because the pink ward was actually used in lane. I called that it was going to be used in side lane. Very, very wrong here. And it might cost Najin Sword.
Nunu all the way on the top side. If they get vision of Watch at any point right here, they're instantly going in, but they're waiting for that. If they can get it.
Oh, that heal went right into the bush. Whoopsies.
So, very smart play by Prey and Cain on the visuals there. They back off, and Diamond is forced to run out of this situation.
They had the right idea there. They were trying to get the early advantage for Genja and Voidle, though, because they had such a hard time. And Diamond doesn't really have to worry about the ganks from Nunu for his other lanes. So he's going to be trying to hard farm and then making his visits down bottom. Watch does come around mid, and Alex is pretty far extended in this lane.
This is great from Watch, seeing that Diamond went back up into the lane. He knows he's either getting countered. Oh, the spear just on the backside. He's a big man, but he can move quick. Looks like Alex stays safe for that one. 100 gold lead with a little bit of the pressure that's been going on in the lanes, but really no deficit to be seen right
Watch looks for his first steps into Diamond's jungle and finds the single camp that Diamond had just cleared, though. So no counter jungling advantage yet with that Nunu. He does get down the ward, so they will have a tiny bit of information. When you go against an Evelynn, by the way, the best places to ward, if you don't have the money for pink wards, are at the jungle camps, because that's where Evelynn will actually be visible because she's attacking. Here we go, some more action down bottom, though. Combo from Cain!
On the Voidle, the Ignite is down. There goes the Valkyrie.
God.
The 1, the 2, the uppercut coming in.
Another play!
Cain grabs first blood a second time in a row. Genja wants to answer, but it's just on the edge. That's the way the cookie crumbles. The flash comes in. The Valkyrie was down. The Acathian surprise. It's not enough to take him down.
All right, bottom lane outplay once again. Cain is just destroying Gambit by himself here. Again, Voidle in the range of that play, and then followed up by a beautiful chain from Cain. Also, the capitalization on that by Prey. He doesn't hesitate to follow up his support. This is great synergy by them. Prey also able to finish this one off. He ends this with 20 HP after the explosion from the Acathian surprise.
Bit of a fast forward. Coming out huge in the bottom lane. Prey 1-0-1. And again, Prey and Cain coming out huge for their team. Already swaying this one by 1.3 thousand gold. Communication from Nagne in mid. You can see these guys are always communicating in that bottom right portion of the screen. Looks like Nagne is actually being one to make shot calls with Cain right now.
This bottom lane is definitely going to be carrying Najin's sword here. They're going to have to worry about Diamond's attention, though, because they've just got this double kill. Diamond is definitely worried about this Genja lane once again, and they're going to have to buy a lot more pink wards if they want to keep safe. Ooh, Diamond thinking about it.
He's creeping.
Oh, he is going to go up into the single pink ward Najin's sword actually have. That one by Dragon. So Evelynn being found out counter jungling here is huge because, well, no, it's not that huge. Nunu's recalling right now. He was not taking advantage of this information they have on Evelynn.
I think Diamond has noticed the movement of Nagne, and he does not like the situation as he takes a look at his map. But still hovering between this pink ward with the movement of the outer lanes, he's have to have considered now that he's been seeing. It's been almost 15 seconds.
He's used so much time over here. He really just wants to make use of his level 6, though. He got his level 6. He wants to get that shield. He wants to go for the dive.
Are just walking through
Alex
wards.
is collapsing, but Alex is pretty far behind here, so this would be a poor decision. Diamond does see the pink ward.
They're walking through so many wards right now, and they have to consider that this fight is also
Nagne
being set up by Najin. The Stand United coming in at a Diamond. Nagne throws a spear for the left. Voidle goes down before the fight even really starts. Prey gets exploded there. Very nice job. Agony's embraced to take him down as well, and they are getting good damage. Gambit made the moves that they needed to here. It took them a little bit of time, but they were able to execute perfectly, Kobe.
Here's Nagne's spear!
Oh, it's not stopped into Alex. Pie in the face there as it almost hit Darien. Another one going across. And these are the things they have to be careful about if the fights go extended.
They had to call Darien down for that one. Huge loss for Gambit. They also used Stand United for this one. They think that they're going to take out... They're focusing the Nunu here. It's only because Prey extends for the kill that they actually get him. Nagne as well had burned his flash to get that. So now it's Genja auto-attacking here. He doesn't even get the aggro from the tower because he skirts that outside. This is a... Let's see when the ward vision of Nagne ward vision right now. Alex was not even looking at it. So that ward in that pink ward in that tri-bush didn't tip him off enough. He actually tried to body slam forward. He's not quick enough.
Going into that fight, and they still are. Prey and Cain are 5. Watch leveled up to 6 in that fight when he threw down the absolute 0. Gambit came in all at level 6s. So Najin did an amazing job at covering that few levels down on each champion.
You have to have an internal timer as a jungler when going for ganks like this. Anytime you sit around that long setting it up, you have to start getting really worried about how much information your enemies have. Najin's sword did an amazing job there of making the best of that tower dive, even though they came out a little bit behind there. They're able to take advantage of this Stand United being down, grab a dragon for themselves.
coming in on these picks as well. Najin grabbing up Dragon there. It's interesting to see, you know, Diamond's Lee Sin left up. He chose not to go for that as well in all of these games so far. We can see what kind of focus that Gambit really has on where their attacks want to come from. 9.5 in this bottom lane. Still the pressure from Cain and Prey. They have gone down here, though. This is not going as it did last time. Genja, Voidle, and team were able to thwart at least the bit of snowball they were creating. But we'll have to see what happens. Once Najin breaks these turrets, they have the pink wards to move around the map. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and more wards in the bottom.
It's pretty much as we expected, this bottom lane for Najin Sword. That's the reason they're so far ahead here. Gambit tunnel visioned onto that bottom lane. They wanted to force something, make it happen, and turn it around, when really they didn't have to force anything down there. It's a new jungle that's not counter jungling, and it's a Nidalee at mid. Hasn't scaled up with her AP yet, but they forced the dive, waited so long to do it, which turned into top turret for Najin Sword plus Dragon. Anytime you don't have to trade for the early Dragon and you get the top turret as well, it's just such a giant early lead to try and come back from. Oh, flash crescendo.
The crescendo comes in from Voidle. There's the living artillery. They're going to walk into it. Voidle goes down to half HP. Can they zero him out in time? Diamond puts himself in the front. Agony Embrace goes off. Cain just on the outside goes down from the Dark Passage shield. It wasn't enough, and they're going to be able to focus the fire and fight down onto Prey. They push him back, but we do see Nagne coming in on the side here. It's going to be the pincer as well from Alex Ish on the backside.
Darien prioritizes the AD carry with his shield from Sam United there instead of the low health Diamond. It does end up costing them the jungler's life. And again, as soon as Darien's gone, hard pushing from Expession onto the second turret. They are making the most of this.
And Najin Sword not making the same. Oh! Big hit on Nagne there. Though. Barrier Nidalee with the heal is going to keep him nice and safe. And we can see Najin not making the same mistake that SKT did when they played against the Evelyn. They are keeping these pink wards everywhere on the map. There's even one in that mid lane to make sure that Nagne is not getting hit up with that Gragas ultimate. It's left everybody to try and 1v1, and the kill potential is really going away for Gambit right now with their fight team.
Najin sort of aware that all of the Gambit's focus has been on that bottom lane, so they just covered that thing in pink wards, and that has enabled them to turn around all these ganks here. Meanwhile, top lane is just being destroyed for Gambit because Darien has to keep leaving.
Nagne more than happy to heal up. 2 attacks coming in from Alex Ish. He's doing what he can to be a nuisance. Nobody there to help him, though. 99 to 107 on that CS. 74 to 113 as Expession again goes very hard in that top lane and wins his 1v1 so far.
All right, so if we leave the bottom lane alone at this point, it's going to keep going the way that it has. It's not a huge CS discrepancy, and it's not a huge kill differential, but the outplays from Cain have just been there time and again.
Genja having a much better game than last time. Looks like he is going for the Dorans. He puts the Phage in at 13, but he is a Sheen behind right now on Prey, who's doing quite well with 1, 1, and 3. That extra assist kind of bumping up his gold. Darien getting a bit of pressure here from Expession. Looks like not good that Najin Sword starting to take over the jungle here.
Here comes Diamond bottom again, though. Cain is very deep.
Not enough pink wards just yet. He gets Cain, misses that flay, which gives Diamond a bit of time to reassess the fight, get himself out of it.
2-man roam there from mid. Only reason Diamond backed off. That's a blue-potted Nidalee right now.
Yeah, 13.
She's going for
Oh! There's 25% of your HP in a second.
162 ability power on her at almost 14 minutes.
This turret looks to be theirs. There's not much they can do, especially if they get that Blood Boil. Actually, they're giving the Blood Boil right now to Nagne, knowing that Prey, as you said, is going to be filtering in those missiles with his auto attacks. Just a few more onto this turret with a slight rotation from Alex is not going to be enough to save it. He goes back mid. It's going to be for nothing for this bottom turret, so he's got to get the push on there.
Oh, Darien taunts, but he's not quite under the turret.
Oh my!
And now Expession
throws down Dominus. He printed this one out. He said, all right, we're going to fight. I'm going to use Dominus. Darien knows that, just kind of waltzes around the turret. He uses it for ring around the rosy, keeps himself safe, but that lets them know they're safe from the crocodile in the top lane. It
It's
looks
invisible blue right
he's
there.
going to try to grab this one up. Alex does not want that to happen, but this now puts Gambit in kind of the roam and chase situation. Najin can start to prepare what they want to do next.
They're slowly creeping in. You can see how the ward line has slowly encroached into
they
Gambit
just don't
jungle.
stop.
That bottom lane is not going to go back in favor of Gambit. It's, again, Genja in his classic situation where he's trying to freeze the bottom here, catch up and farm. But they're so far behind, it's going to be hard for the rest of his team to hold the objectives elsewhere. Being down an extra champion and this huge gold differential is going to be very, very hard for Gambit to hold out.
We pointed out earlier that Nagne wouldn't be getting these kills really out of mid lane. Even though he's been pressured back here down in CS, he's keeping up now. Cougar form helping him do that, but the roam has given him 2 kills. He's been able to participate in a good amount that his team has put around the map. But Watch is also doing a lot better than he did last time. 1-0-1, and he's been putting himself in better spots for these ganks as well. He's not coming up in the end to defend. He's actually being an initiator.
Meanwhile, Expession up top is just becoming a monster. He's got his Sunfire Cape for split pushing, and now he's also got the Negatron Cloak. Very good resistances on both sources of damage there. That with the extra health from Dominus means it's so hard to take him down.
Oh, pink battle. Very nice. Well played by Quirky and Sona on that one. So we're going to see Vision starting to die out in that bottom lane. How much longer will Genja actually spend there? I feel that Gambit's going to need more than 3 members in the mid lane to start stopping these sieges.
Especially with that blue elixir Nidalee now with blue buff. The late game poke has come very early for her.
This is going to be big. Stand United is up, but it's going to be the pincer here. It is a forced spread from Gambit.
If Diamond's going to go, it's got to go now.
They are on him. It's going to be Agony's Embrace going down right there. Stand United comes in as well. Expession is a very big focus here. They get a good hook onto Darien as he's getting moved around. All of Najin is combining themselves on each other right now. Very hard to click into the damage. They now focus onto Darien, and it was just too hard to get the shots out for Genja.
Great initiation there from Diamond, getting around the side and getting the ult onto Prey. And he also got the Dragon, but the zoning there. Watch, popping off the Nunu ultimate did so much to slow everyone from Gambit after they dove in. Prey was able to live through that end of that fight, and he put out so much damage. Alex gets zoned by Nagne, by the way, this entire time.
That's the thing that hurts when you start a fight
thinking
half
it was
health.
coming in. The double spear, that fight up top is pretty interesting, but down bottom, Genja getting hooked in there. And then Watch throws off the absolute zero, allowing Prey with the red buff from the back line, able to stay in this with only 30% HP.
Oh. So amazing how once that Watch ultimate off, he's like, everybody on me right now, and it's just not enough combined damage from Gambit to pull that fight out. Again, the chase of Nagne, now overthrowing Alex Ishu. He's got to worry about that in the fight. He can no longer be appeal for his AD carry, and that was kind of pointed out when they went into the fight. It was a pincer, you know. It was all about Genja trying to run with Voidle, and as you're getting dove on by Expession, Watch, and Nagne, those guys are ready to fight an objective.
Yeah, Nagne, he did a really good job there of zoning Alex.
Yeah.
Keeping him on the outside, and then even came up with the solo kill.
So 3-0 now, or 3-0, I should say, in that mid lane for Nagne. Coming up big. Watch says, check this out. And he looks over at Darien before he takes the lantern. The Oracle coming out on their side is going to help with Eve, as well as assist their pink wards that they are still laying down the map in handfuls as they start to clear out and gain control of the other side. Here, Darien getting hit up in the top lane. The snowball is going to keep him within range. And it looks like everybody else is coming up too. They want assists on this. So we're going to get a Thresh Hook here. We may even get a Nidalee Spear, maybe even a heal. Oh, he gets him in just to get it for the assist. Very nice job. Najin cleaning this up perfectly here in this mid game.
Nice pickup there. Grabbing Darien with no vision. It's going to mean that they can easily push in now onto these secondary turrets. Genja's still, by the way, off by himself farming here, so they don't even have the extra Kog'Maw damage. It's going to be a two-pronged approach here from Najin's sword.
Looks like Genja, again, maybe not falling behind, but did switch his choice as he double dips in the build on the BF sword. Kog'Maw can get to that late game king carry position, but he is far from it right now, and they're going to need a lot of time in this game.
Meanwhile, over at mid, Prey hitting level 11 with those Sork shoes is a tremendous amount of magic damage from his ultimate. The second level of the ultimate, Corki's bombs go up pretty high in damage, 70 extra, and he becomes a poking menace himself. Now, that plus Nagne's spears are just whittling Gambit down, and they don't have enough HP to engage upon.
Still clearing out all the wards. You can see that Najin has definitely made this a game where at the point they take objectives, they have more control of the map than Gambit. They're not allowing Gambit to win through fights. And it's interesting because the past 2 games, Najin has avoided every fight that Gambit has brought to the table and dropped structures. But this time they said, we're taking it to you and we're going to beat you with your own medicine. So they bring a fight team to the table, 11-4, a 6,000 gold lead. I think the quickest and most we've seen within this game. It was 10,000 last game, but that was a little bit later. 4-1 in turrets. That map vision is falling for Gambit.
Talking about map vision, there's an Oracle's in Cain's pocket right now too, so it's not going to get any better for Gambit. From here on out, it's Najin slowly closing in with that ward line around the Gambit jungle and forcing Gambit into bad spots. Even though they have Evelyn, the vision advantage definitely there for Najin Sword, and they can force Gambit to play into their hands.
So I lied, and Genja tricked us again because he bought the Zeal. So he may not be going for the Infinity Edge. He still wants to double dip into both of those items, trying to get that BF Sword for a bit of damage on Living Artillery and his Arcane Barrage. Or not Arcane Barrage, Bio-Arcane Barrage. So we'll see what they can do with that. Still not trying to activate anything. Alex pushing solo. Everybody back in base trying to get items. Pink Ward's coming out for Voidle on top of the Ruby, but he does not have the Moby boots yet. So their fights are going to be quite scary, and they're going to have to stay towards that back line.
I wonder if there's ever going to be an Aegis of the Legion here for Gambit, because that plus the Sona helps out a whole lot when you're trying to deal with magic damage poke. Prey is actually in a pretty bad spot here. Diamond right in that bush. Oh, there's a Shen ulti onto Diamond.
Coming in onto Diamond.
Oh,
Prey is quite close, but they don't get it. The Valkyrie was too fast. Throwing down the Noodle ultimate. Hits it immediately to get the slowdown. They start dropping onto Alex. Cain is very low, but he is the one they want to go down first. He is all right to go down. They still have enough peel and attack from the outside line.
Did Darien just short that taunt? Did he just point blank it? Because that was huge. Prey didn't get locked down. As soon as that happened, easy turnaround.
There's the taunt, the crescendo consecutively on top. A great job there. It may have been too much crowd control, but it's enough for the Corki 3-kill shutdown.
All right, Darien got one, and a good follow-up crescendo there from Voidle as well. They've now taken out the huge source of damage from Najin Sword. That's going to stop this push right in its tracks. Okay, we get another look at it this time. In comes the Shen on top of Diamond. Point blank, he shorts the taunt. Right there, that could have been a completely different story for Gambit. If they had Prey down at the beginning of this, then Alex coming in right there, they actually might have been able to close out a bigger win for that team and then, you know, turn it into something else like a Dragon to turn this game around. But regardless, they came out with one extra kill, so it's a small victory for them.
And also something that is scary about Najin Black Sword right now is they are showing constraint. They're showing when they don't need to go in. They got that one kill. They said we can get more off of this, and they backed off. Knowing they didn't have Prey is a huge factor, so they're not tunneling into these fights, which Gambit really needs them to do right now. Gambit on their heels, trying to go hard on this one. Alex again putting that farm over his safety. He's going to be taken down here, but Diamond, a very good attack. Could get another kill coming into the Prey here. They don't get it, and he is safe to get out. Oh, the spear! Just over the shoulder of Diamond.
Heal coming in at the end for Nagne, just for good measure on Prey as well. Good job not overextending. They do trade mid laner for support. So at the moment, Najin Sword with a slightly better map control, the map presence in their favor. Oracles has run out on Watch though.
14 seconds left onto Alex. Pings are going down on the Baron for Gambit. They are saying, we need vision there, and this is scary because Voidle is the one that has to make that journey, and he's about to do it, I think.
It's so scary as a support going by yourself.
He is creeping so slowly, you're just looking on the minimap. Where's he going?
Yeah, it's the point where your whole team's like, what the heck? No vision on Baron. Get some vision on Baron. You need an escort, actually. At this point in the game,
And you can even see Najin's eyes are on that as well. They saw the ward go over the wall in time, so they have the ping down. They know they will be hatching a ward if they go to Baron. But right now, their focus is down here in the bottom. They want to be able to damage, hurt, maim, do anything they can to Gambit before they take that objective. Like I said, they're using Gambit, their own strategy against them, and just fighting always.
They're going to try and poke him down here with the missiles plus spears. Frey again with a red buff. They just put so much power onto Frey, and he carries extremely well. One
of those things, Alex could have walked right into range of Expession there. Fire, Sunfire Cape damage, turret aggro, back out. Just get a little bit of mind games on him, but they're playing very
looking
safe.
to come around the back, but he's been spotted by the pink ward coverage. He comes
Alex
in.
eats it. A very nice ultimate. Diamond and Darien both get hit up as Darien came in before the absolute zero pop. Diamond taking damage. 1, 2, 3, break gives them the combo. They're going to continue now. Darien very low on the health, but they don't have the gap closed. They slow down for now. They look for the turret.
Watch single-handedly foils that entire attempt by Gambit. He pops off the absolute zero as Diamond tries to come in. Didn't have the W active to try and get through it. Diamond tries to back out. Darien goes in. Great split there from Najin's sword. Watch comes up huge.
And you can see the type of impact Nagne is trying to create with Nidalee. Void Staff and the Athene's Unholy Grail. He instantly wants that to hurt. Boom! Right in Genja's face. One or two of those and you can't fight anything.
That's why they keep choosing Nunu. The zoning potential there with the absolute
It worked
zero.
this time, right.
It worked this time.
A crazy sway to this game. Najin finding 2 games in a row, a 10,000 gold lead now over Gambit. They have completely turned it on. The one game that they lost was the game they needed to warm up on the main stage here at Worlds, and it looks like the train isn't stopping for them.
They are able to take away the red buff and litter both sides of the jungle in wards. So now, with this almost 10 gold, 10K gold. Well, 10 gold! They are almost 10 gold ahead, Riv.
Explore awards for the win. Get it. We'll have to see what they can do. Gambit, not completely out of this one. Alex in his interview said, there are games when we know we shouldn't win that we're able to win. It happened here at the Championship Forum. They were able to come back on Balkan in their game, and they are waiting bated breath for that to happen. But Najin, not even on the brink of making one of those mistakes right now. So Gambit is really going to have to create some of their own impact plays here quite soon.
Yeah, with Najin's team right here, they're going to play the siege game. They siege up and they just try and poke you down. So it's up to Gambit to take the initiative and make the first move here. Last time, they totally got stopped by Watch there, popping off the absolute zero. He saw the side that Diamond was trying to come around from and completely countered their plan. And this time, Diamond has to save his W so that he can remove the slowing effects and get right into the middle.
Absolute incredible flank warding going on here with the pink wards. They leave a position, Diamond can come from that position. We need to pink ward it. They move somewhere else, they pink ward it. Everywhere they've gone is a trail of breadcrumb pink wards right now. 28 minutes into the game, they're completely safe here at the bottom side of the turret. They know that Diamond is actually in that group, and they have 2 pink wards to keep themselves safe even in the bush right there. Both just placed down.
It has been a while since we've seen a poke comp here played out like this.
Oh my gosh, even Darien is taking hits that don't let them fight. This turret is going to be theirs. Alex just dodging out onto that one. Genja trying to come in and thwart off what was happening on the left side, but a turret goes in favor of Najin's sword. They really have this in their favor.
Definitely another strength of poke comps are that when you get to those inhibitor turrets that are usually quite daunting for most teams, all they have to do is the exact same thing they've been doing all game long and siege up outside of it once again. Wait for that spear to land on a high priority target, and then you get a few more chips off the turret, a few more auto attacks. Then they just have to be patient, control both blue buffs, and that's basically the end game plan.
A lot of what Gambit brought to the table within their first 2 games would be perfect for this composition that Najin has. But Najin making sure they banned all that outer picked it. That Elise is gone. Best thing for a poke comp is a dive comp, but the only thing they got there, Genja poking back and Alex poking back. They don't have the dive comp they need.
Well, Alex, with that Gragas, what I was talking about in Champion Select, how it's good against a Nidalee here in this sort of poke comp, is that if he lands a good ultimate, if there's any misstep in positioning from Najin Sword, then that acts as your hard initiate, because that Gragas ult knocking someone into your team allows Darien to go in with that flash taunt, and that's the hard initiate that they wait for. They're hoping for a really strong ultimate from Alex.
Najin on their toes and definitely waiting for that. Trying to get some wards out here as well as clear wards. You see Expession taking Dark Passage just above near Baron as they position themselves. Oh my word. And Spear taking half the HP from Diamond. He is not working with any home guard boots as well, so he is stuck with the amount of HP he's bringing to this fight here, except for what he takes off of these golems if he has any vamp.
Gambit trying to play to their strengths here. They have Darien down bottom split pushing. Right now, they can hope to delay Najin's Sword at this Baron. That would be best for them. If they could get Alex over there very quickly, then they could, that's burning down so fast.
Well, he's going on the reds. He's Alex. He's just trying to get himself on the side to take this with explosive exploding cast. Can he get there in time? They don't have it. It's going to be Prey over the wall, but he's by himself, and it actually is enough to pressure out Alex and team. Darien is watching for the Stand United here, but doing what he can to pressure the bottom lane with a Sunfire. Will Gambit decide to head down there with him, or will they decide to try and hold off this mid lane?
Darien probably going to have to start running, because he doesn't want to let any of this team catch up to them. They're actually quite good at chasing people down with the Blood Boil and the Nunu slows.
Blood Boil, 2 Moby boots coming out. You got 1 on Cain, 1 on Watch. We have the chase here. I thought that Prey he is actually going hard. He's just going for the minions though. I thought he was trying to stop the back and start a fight for himself. It's been what Najin has actually turned to this game. Now 11.3 thousand gold in the lead. 6-1 in turrets right now means map vision is also being dwindled down here for Gambit. They sit with the inhibitor turrets down. At least the waves right now for them pushed up to the river, so they have some time to recoup and see what they can do.
Another small ray of hope for Gambit. They've gotten the blue buff onto Alex. And since Alex has the combo of Death Cap and Void Staff, his ultimate does pack a very strong punch here. So they have a little bit of hope as long as he can land one of those game-changing ultis. Someone like Nagne or someone like Prey or Cain are low enough HP that they could actually be bursted down if Alex gets one of those ults.
I'm definitely going to go back and watch this game, because I don't know if there has been a moment when a pink ward has died and there has been another pink ward on the map here for Najin. There has to be like 5,000 gold spent in pink wards right now.
That's what you have to do when you get ahead
Lord.
Versus an Evelyn team, is litter the map with pink wards.
They're just dodging out spears right now. Nagne is putting these spot on, threading each needle that he has to, and it's making them have to reposition and dodge. They're trying to guard this turret. Darien's out in front, still getting harassed himself, and they're going to be able to take at least 65% of health off that turret with a full Gambit team there.
It's exactly what we talked about. You throw out a spear, you get one target, that's another few hits on the turret.
Yeah.
You get a Sheen proc, that's a huge chunk out of the turret. Nagne has been perma blue elixired since about 12 minutes into this game.
Oh, almost hitting Voidle on the backside. You got to be careful whenever he dodges that spear. If you're still in the way, you're going to take it to the face. Genja, that hurt. 14-7 on the scoreboard. The gold is showing you the damage that Najin is able to put out right now. The first inhibitor turret to fall now at 32 minutes into the game. If they can get the last shots, it looks like Expession has had enough. He puts himself in the fire, and it looks like it's going to be enough to cool off the inhibitor turret.
Now they do the exact same thing at the inhibitor. They've got Baron buff regen. Don't see them backing off anytime soon.
Only getting the waves, dodging out perfectly. Nagne's now out of mana. They have to be careful on this one, but they do have that Baron buff regen on them. They're going to be able to have enough pressure for the inhibitor and make their way out, but that was almost completely unanswered from Gambit.
Diamond cannot go in here. He keeps getting speared in the eyes, and he got chunked out so low before that, there was no possibility of initiate for Gambit.
See what they're trying to itemize into. You can see Diamond not going for auras for the team, not going for anything else, but we need to win these fights with damage that they are not expecting. The Warmog's now coming out into Darien. He's able to take those Nidalee spears now. He had to itemize into that health. The magic resistance really wasn't going to help too much.
It is looking quite grim for the second European team here today.
Genja got big. It could be an impact, but he's matching the items now, and even a Last Whisper Negatron Cloak behind here.
Genja made me big. Prey is bigger.
Yep.
He also has some defenses as well. He's got that
defense, the escape ability as well. Kog'Maw not the greatest at getting out of a fight, but if they can grab something here in the jungle, it might be in their favor. Now that the pink wards have died down, if they can start to get vision, lay down a good Void Ooze, and really catch Najin out of place, Diamond will get his man, I want to come around and slaughter your whole team effect in. But Najin, again, trying to control and dictate the game as they send their team bottom lane. We're going to have Nagne split pushing in the mid.
The next inhibitor turret team fight is going to decide the end here for Gambit. One inhibitor they can actually deal with because Darien can split push, Stand United available. But 2 inhibitors against this poke comp is pretty much a death sentence. The next engage is going to be so huge for them. Darien's actually even joined the team. So they'll have Shen for the beginning of this. If you're going to make a move, you have to make it before your main carries get poked down. The earlier, the better here.
Still
no
waiting.
Valkyrie down. This is the window.
Where is it? Voidle still on the backside. The crescendo's not there. They have the flash up, but they are not positioning themselves to be aggressed on whatsoever. They're saying, we have a flood of minions in that top lane. Let's dance this out.
Exactly. Najin Sword are happy to play this slow game. Keep all of Gambit here.
Gambit's not leaving.
The minions will take a side Nexus turret by themselves. The middle lane, they can't actually do that, but the side lanes will take those turrets. Genja has to go over there.
Najin Sword has played this game almost perfectly, putting too many objectives on the plate for Gambit to think about. Now it's going to be saving a Nexus turret as another inhibitor falls. Dragon is alive, Baron will be alive, but Najin won't even need that with the way they've orchestrated this possible win here on a next fight.
Shooting fish in a barrel here for Nagne. He
lands
another one. Okay, so they're chunking both turrets down at once. Every time we get that Trinity Force proc on Prey, it's another giant chunk out of each turret. It's only a matter of time here. Gambit they're not making a move.
They are showing their strength. Not do you see at 36 minutes an AD carry take 2 turret shots to the face in front of a Shen. They know the power they have right now. It's not even disrespect. They are trying to make Gambit fear them completely. Voidle getting taken down to 20% HP. They get the turret in the eyes of Gambit, and they look for more.
Now it's going to be even harder. They still haven't pulled the trigger. Gambit just walking back and forth here. Now the back lines both at 50%. And they make the move now.
They go in. That Cask did not go on to watch. He got a pretty good ultimate off of the crescendo, shut down most of the damage. Darien goes down on the back line. The minions are flooding down the mid lane. Najin takes this. They move up to the top. The chess pieces are in order for checkmate, and they're going to try to make the move.
Genja had to go back to Fountain right when that started. This is pretty much good night for Gambit.
Cain coming in quite low here. They all have quite low HP, but the burst coming out of Gambit at this point has not been built up enough yet. Alex Ish, the only level 18. No, Genja is as well in the team, but they're fighting the same thing on the other side as well, with Expession and the team being much farther ahead.
Pings on to Baron here from Najin Sword, but they pull a full man recall here. The only way for them to really throw this game away would be to get a Baron stolen. And even then, it would be rough for Gambit. Right now, they're going to be trapped inside of their base, trying to clear out minion waves.
We'll see what they have.
Oh man, even the Observer wants to rage quit.
We can see how much farther ahead these guys are. Expession now putting the Thornmail into his build. Not exactly an item. You say, that'll be my third one. He can put a little extra gold into itemizing to even get back at his opponents. One turret down for Gambit. The global presence here just has not been there.
Yellow pings firing off really quick there as soon as they aggro the Baron.
Like I said, we've seen these guys. They don't tunnel. They know and hold themselves back.
This is another. This is actually a really good spot for them to make use of all these skill shots that they have. If they continue to just throw out Nidalee Spears here for days, they can do the same thing. Chunk down Gambit, and if they keep Gambit here, then the minions will do the work for them. Gambit they have so few choices right now.
And this is the thing that's really going to put fear into the other teams as well.
Yep.
Again, losing with Nunu the first time, but they bring out Nidalee the second time. They bring out a different composition somebody has not used yet, and these guys are still able to come through with wins. an amazing play here from Najin as they may make a final push into the base. Genja is at a point where he can come up big on one of these fights, but there can be zero focus to him.
I think you're right. The bottom lane here for this team has definitely solidified themselves as a huge threat. Also in this game, Nagne showed a new champion. That's also very huge for them. This Nidalee has been quite effective.
They also have somebody else to play in mid if they want, in the presence of Song. Nagne, however, coming up very big for the team. We see a 14,000 gold lead from downtown. The spear coming up big, going on to Voidle. This could be a final push here. Darien taking a lot of damage on the outside. It looks like the composition brought out with Nunu in the jungle again wasn't too much for Watch. He shows his privy. They are able to come up big on this one. Najin going big. They're going for all the kills. They've gotten all the turrets. They've gotten everything they wanted in this game, including the win. They lost the first one, but were able to get out warm after that first match and find the win over Gambit here in the quarterfinals.
Congratulations to Najin Sword. Well-deserved win right there. They show they are not afraid to return to the same champion picks even after losing. They have confidence in that Nunu, and they pulled it off this time.
Masterful play by the man on your screen, Prey. Cain to his left. They completely came up huge in the bottom lane. Always pressuring for Diamond to be somewhere he didn't want to be. Alex, like you said in that mid lane, it was a lot of kill potential, and it really came from Nagne.
I mean, Sword were able to use their very powerful bottom lane as bait, as a beacon really, to attract all of Gambit down there. And then they used that to turn the tables and gave Expession so much free farm up top, getting these turrets every time Gambit would go down bottom. And as long as Najin Sword were able to answer bottom, they came out overall ahead every single time.
It was a very strong play when you go into picks and bans with something different every time. You stop the team. Three things they just played with by banning out the Fizz, banning out something else, and taking the Elise game 2. It really, I think, got in the heads of Gambit. And although we didn't know too much about the champion pools of Najin there, they sure showed that they can go outside the box.
I mean, going back to that Nunu again after didn't have that big of an effect, that shows so much confidence. And I think it really plays into their playstyle of having Prey be that mid-game carry for them and late-game extreme hard carry. And
the things we thought they were going to see, I mean, it's their choice to pick what champions they want to play, but we were like, yeah, Prey's Ezreal. It's going to be huge. Hasn't been seen in this tournament. He went with Corki that game, and then we questioned the Blood Boil on Corki as well. You're like, wait, he's got the missiles, but it worked out. They were able to use it on Nidalee more than not and kind of just make it happen in their own way.
Yeah, that one play where Watch zoned out Diamond from Diamond's
with
flank
the Stand
and the
United
side,
coming
with
in.
Stand United completely foiling Darien,
Real
completely
good.
foiling Diamond. That, to me, was really a game-changing team fight.
I think all of them were almost game-changing. We saw level 1 of the third game. Nothing happened. First game, Najin tried to get as many wards onto that blue bottom side as they could. And really, Najin, everybody's like, why are there so many blue side wins? Well, there you go. Najin made it happen. They came out strong in that game. And it doesn't matter what side they're on. Also, bringing out the Nunu. It's kind of hard not to go back to that. It was like, yeah, Watch was not used strategically well on Nunu. But that game, it just showed us they just didn't perform the way they wanted to in the early part of the game.
All right, so looking forward, you know, we had one European team move on so far today, and one Korean team. There's still another Korean team playing in the other side of the bracket here. SKT1 will be going up against Gamma Bears. That's going to be interesting because in that match, it's Gamma Bears who are the one that nobody has any information on. They're the ones with all this unpredictability like Najin Sword had here. It worked out for Najin. We'll have to see if Gamma Bears can actually make use.
So I think this was a bit of a learning experience for everyone. And I'll see what Najin Black Sword has to put on the table. And I think it was a bit of, not a wake-up for Gambit, but for all of these teams to think, you know, we're warmed up and we're ready to go, and be surprised by a team that hasn't played on the stage yet is a little scary, I bet, for some as well. Because you don't know what to expect, and it definitely mattered in that game.
Right. Before this, everyone was like, oh, I don't know, 50-50. Is Najin Sword scary? Don't know yet. Now the answer is yes. Absolutely
Scary as well, because how many people are now going to be considering, probably not impressionable on the Nunu pick, but the fact that they can do that. Who's going to ban out Nunu? They're not going to ban out Watch on Nunu because it wasn't a game changer, but it's something they can play to help other people change the game. And that's when it becomes really scary picks, when things are working that you don't initially want to ban out.
The bans, I think, are probably going to be focused on the bottom lane for this.
You think
Najin
they'll get that
team.
Twitch out of there?
Yeah. Well, the Thresh, I think, is huge.
More than the Twitch, though.
Tricky.
I'm gonna hold